YouTube, what it do? Is your boy Benji, and we are back in between the ropes. And it's a Wednesday. You already know what time it is, man. AEW Dynamite review. Let's get straight into it, man. If you are new, please don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to chop that like button, man. I'm so serious. Let's get into it, man. I don't know if y'all like the glasses too. I feel like it's Men in Black right now, but whatever. The show opens up with Hangman Page versus Josh Alexander, and they get straight to it. Fists are flying, fisticuffs are in it. These guys don't like each other. I mean, Hangman took some bumps last week, so he's back for blood. We even had Daniel Bryanson on the microphone with the commentary team, as was Don Callis, who got a lot of FU chants from the crowd. I mean, I might need y'all's help to fill me in on who is Josh Alexander. Is he like a former amateur wrestler or something like that? Like, I don't know what's up with the getup. I mean, I've seen him on TV, last couple of weeks with the Don Callis family, but I'm trying to figure out what is his background. I mean, anyways, this match was pretty solid, but there were some evident flubs throughout, and the people were beyond lit. They were behind Mr. Hangman regardless. Dude, these guys end up outside the ring, and Hangman eats a German suplex onto the apron, and then Alexander tries to follow up with another German on the concrete, but Hangman counters and drops that fool on his head at the entrance ramp. So then we're all just sitting there watching, wondering whether or not these guys are going to make it back into the ring to beat the 10 count. Don Callis and these cronies trying to interrupt, but it is with no success, as it eventually, Hangman catches his fool with a buckshot lariat and wins the match. Hangman gets on the mic and mentions that he has a bone to pick with MJF and the rest of his challengers. He's here to wrestle, and he's tired of all the antics. Kyle Fletcher shows up, and whether Hangman likes him or not, he gets into the ring. But it's obvious Hangman does not like this dude because he roasts him because of his lack of socks. I personally like Kyle Fletcher, and he oozes swag and savagery, but Hangman does not believe that Kyle Fletcher is ready yet. I didn't know Kyle Fletcher was only 26, so salute to him. He asked for it. He lets Hangman know that he is in his prime, and he will decide when he's out of his prime. And eventually later in the show, this match becomes official. Hangman Page versus Kyle Fletcher. If anyone backstage is smart, they would challenge Kyle Fletcher for the TNT title. So while this dude is worried about the big prize, you can catch him lacking. That's just me. We then get a MJF video promo where he just straight up cooks. Dude. He talks about how he left his wife in the midst of their honeymoon to inflict damage on Mark Briscoe because he's married to the game. This dude is just good. He's good. His wife will understand. Wrestling comes first. He mentions that she gave him the ultimatum, leave and we are done. And, well, we saw this dude on Saturday, so I kind of wonder what's going on in their household. We get a matchup of Mercedes Moné versus Rio and Alex Windsor, and I thought it was interesting because they actually mentioned on Collision that Mercedes' tag partner is the woman who introduced Rio to wrestling as a mentor. The commentary team lets us know that Mercedes will be facing Rio next week, and if I'm any of the other women, I'd be pretty upset. Why does this woman just get to reappear and secure a title opportunity? I mean, I get it that she was like one of the first, if not the first, women's champs, but girl, get the back of the line. What do you think this is? Anyways, Windsor and Rio really went to work over the last few days as they have put together some dope and crazy tag team moves. Rio ends up tapping out her mentor while Windsor held Mercedes tied up in the ropes. Y'all think Mercedes is losing her belt at All Out? Because that's where it looks like this is headed. In this hilarious segment, bro, we get Mac and Nick of the Young Bucks backstage eating. I'm talking about the elegant things that they could do with 500K if they win the tag match today, which is for 500K. It's funny watching these dudes get kicked from table to table as they are no longer cool. And then it was super hilarious when John Moxley showed up and everyone just runs away. He put some interesting stakes up for these boys. He's ready to give up his portion of the pot to ensure that the Young Bucks lock in so that they can get out of eating scenarios like this right here. So they're coming with their A game. I thought this segment was pretty interesting as well. FTR show up to the ring and Big Stoat lets the crowd know that they're all twins and none of them get any hoes, which I would be just like, you know, it's one thing for you to say my city sucks, but for you to tell me I get no hoes, then that's insane. I'd be upset if I was anybody in the crowd. We get Baldy here, who grabs a mic and challenges a bunch of people in the crowd to a fight, which I really enjoyed. In the middle of him arguing with fans, they just start whooping on the cameraman and the production crew since no one decided to jump over the barricade. And again, I like this. I like to see bad guys doing bad guy things. Speaking of bad guys, a match that a lot of people are probably excited for at All Out. We get a little preview of that with a singles match of Ricochet versus Shelton Benjamin. Ricochet promised Shelton and the rest of the Hurt Syndicate that he would leave GOA backstage if they would agree to the gentleman's agreement that they would stay backstage. I can't lie. Shelton Benjamin is a unit, bro. I really do enjoy that AEW announces time limits on their matches, which makes sense. I mean, like, what if two powerhouses meet in the middle of the show in a match that could logically take them an hour to find a winner? I think that is dope. So, I mean, it just kind of makes sense, you know, that way. I mean, I probably said it before, but Ricochet is a real-life superhero, dude. This dude is amazing. I mean, he starts the match with a couple of drop kicks and then flips out of the ring onto Shelton and then casually hits a 450 springboard splash on Shelton, who just emphatically kicks out. He begins tossing Ricochet around, and these two end up going back and forth before Ricochet lands a Spanish fly. He magically produces some scissors, which Shelton snatches away from him and breaks. And, of course, things go awry as GOA show up, and one of the members ends up headbutting Shelton, leading Ricochet to a roll-up W. Chaos ensues as the Hurt Syndicate shows up and everyone battles, which is a W chest move from Ricochet. Following this segment, we get a cryptic video promo from Hook on someone's rooftop about standing alone, or maybe not standing alone. I don't know what he's talking about, so I'm just going to the next segment. We get a match, which is actually a Philadelphia street fight between Toni Storm and Sky Blue. And first of all, who is Sky Blue, and why haven't I noticed her until today? Like, alright, my fault. Sorry. So I thought it was something on my screen. My bad. Anyways, it's obvious that she came here to look cute, and Toni Storm came for war. These two are having a street fight, and they instantly get to using weapons. Like, it was fun to watch. I mean, Toni Storm starts playing the guitar with a stop sign before cracking Sky in the back. I mean, the madness just begins with that. Sky Blue ends up grabbing a staple gun and empties the clip all over Tony's body. And I mean all over Tony's body. Everywhere. We come back for commercial, and then Toni uncovers a table that's full of mouse traps. Like, these women are crazy. Now, Toni probably thought that she had a nice couple tricks up her sleeve because this looks like some like Looney Tunes type stuff. But at the end of the day, it is Toni Storm who ends up getting powerbombed into this table. I'll tell you, these women are sick. And y'all know I'm a fan of Toni Storm. And I have been since I've started watching AEW. But Sky Blue really surprised me and took some bumps. This match eventually ends with Toni Storm planting Sky Blue on a chair in the center of the ring with Storm Zero. And you would be crazy if you thought that Tekla wouldn't show up. Well, before I can even breathe, Chris Statlander shows up. But Miss Statlander is no help and eventually becomes a victim of the numbers game. Jamie Hayter then shows up, who I had already forgotten about, and I'm thankful for the commentators for letting me know that it was Tekla who took her out in the first place. At the end of the day, Tekla prevails, stands tall, grabs the belt. She's ready to do war. Another funny segment, we get Willow Nightingale backstage, and she mentions that she's ready to fight Marina. The cat lady ends up interrupting, and dude, she breaks everyone. when she starts singing and playing the guitar. Y'all let me know about this girl. I ain't gonna lie. This was funny. I ain't gonna lie. She actually can sing too. And she was pretty good on the guitar. I thought that was a little surprising. The main event of the show was a 10-man tag match for $500,000, and of course, I wanted to pay attention to the Young Bucks entrance and see what was up. They end up showing up, and on the Jumbotron, we see what looks like their ID photos, and additionally, the title cards show their government names. It's I ain't gonna lie, this is a funny thing that we've seen segment to segment, week to week. It's so crazy though that you could do so much for a company, and they just do not respect you because you lose your EVPs. I mean, the reason I enjoy these multi-man matches is because of all the chaos and all that they do, or at least all that they can do, to advance storylines. I will say, AEW continues to deliver. This match is madness. In the end, it is the Jackson brothers who finesse Bandito and cheat to win, using leverage from the ropes with the roll-up pin. Of course, the Death Riders begin leveling everybody out, and Darby Allin shows up to attack Mox. Now, interestingly enough, it is Mr. Garcia, Daniel Garcia, who shows up in a hoodie to help Mox out. I enjoyed this as Daniel's been stressing out over the last few weeks, and his time has come. If you can't beat him, join him, man. He definitely misses the faceplant for Darby Allin. That was intended for the chair the first time, but man, the second one, I ain't gonna lie, was pretty nasty. But I will say, it all adds up. I was wondering why, when these two matched up at Collision on Saturday, Mox was so hyped when he beat him, as if he already didn't beat him 3 other times. And he should have walked into that match expecting to win. So I don't know why you would be so hyped to win a match that you would already expect that you would have won. I did presume dude would turn after Collision when he grabbed the mic and he mentioned, sometimes good ain't good enough. I gotta say, W ended to the show, and you know how we like to rate things this way. We like yay, nay, and somewhere in between is okay. I think this show is pretty good. This episode was pretty solid. I mean, everything was at least entertaining. I mean, even the segments in between were pretty good. I mean, I was intrigued. And as we start to head toward All Out, I'm kind of excited to see what we might get. Yeah, let me know what y'all thought about this show and this episode in total. And I'm interested to see what we're going to talk about on Collision. Let me know what other matches or storylines I need to jump into, because I'm going to be pumping out vids for the Patreon this week. Appreciate y'all. Stay tuned to the next one.